bia de befa Lisho Sakwaba
Well, Captain.
Bibia Boko there.
Nka bibia ye boko na. I said nano kwasida yanti asemde. Kwasida nanopa. Former chairman.
Oh, okay.
Former chairman.
Chairman Adekoka.
Chairman Adekoka. Yeti ya me say why nyame die. Ti sabi we die NDC fo nya no ye wa rehu. Nti memfa kwanya so na mema abusuafo no so nyina yakọ na mema NDC fo no so nyina yakọ megidi se free sabri koyi no nhyehyɛ bia ne oho bia no abusua no de betuda na ne se party no so ye no yenso yaye
that's it Innocent, you shall you.
Says you now, your whole. But fear him at all. Wow, never boko.
There, may I say, be able to there. Yes, I say, oh, Yanko.
Dedica, I mentioned if I think that issues are from there. And also, you were kind of for Tana, you were to me issue.
Maybe your person or the Fabia.
Yeah. I think that my man started from to me case in answer.
Okay.
And I think that issue and we've gotten to the end of it. But the side aspect, a certain snapshot to be a yani everybody so the minority or more parliament a catch the Ghana for say among koyo mojuma na mum or more court to solidarize with to me our national security. And we saw Nema a course or M4D, the course in but behind those Nema Nana air course, there were critical questions and that people were not asking. Captain, the gentleman was granted bail in Ababe 4 days ago. The bail condition, they have 50 million Ghana cedis.
Pew.
Yes. The MPP made it look like, say, a bin sida in the life of Ghana. A Kana yede to wound to Misono. There's a coming nowhere close to the Yahubida in this country. And most of the interviews are not big wings within the party. I say, Omashada Asalapi wound to me with 50 million Ghana cedis are binding to me. Intentionally, they don't want wound to me to be built. But, Captain, my men drive back to 2012. Abra want to Abra ya first why you me case ni baye gidigidi wo kroma say no why you me case the amount of money involved there 51.2 million Ghana cedis. The gentleman was slapped with 54 million bail condition as far back as 2012. So it is not Adiebinsi Ukromada. And he was able to meet the bail condition, granted bail and the subsequent way on for the year. Now, no one Papa na friend at Wesi and they say on any for D or bank is Do you know the amount of money that was slapped on them? 600 million and over. 600 million compared to 50 million. So I know that they are not more was much ado about nothing. Just trying to whip public sentiment. Because the real and the core issues at the center of wound to me case, are far bigger and larger than the in the case of your friend say Wyoming. Wound to me case, even one case involve a whooping sum of about $45 million. I can be nowhere close to amount of money and about Wyoming. Again, that's why Exim Bank $10 million is even bigger than the amount of money I can have. And this we have my obi baila. You heard the amount of money involved in the criminal way na why no. They are so amount bail because the idea is say nipa no dwane state no more at least the bail condition can defray the extent of cost na yabo. So very often na bail no so change sikana yes wedi no. But they want to make case 50 million is nowhere close to your friend is saying $45 million and even $10 million. And assassin was saying no. And these people were trying to whip public sentiment into this particular issue. Say, lose focus on the criminal activities now. I say, pay attention to. Because for me, I'll be very much concerned about the destructive nature of wound to these businesses. Natural, you can say, forest, the devastation of what cause to your natural, you can say, environment. And on you put value and money on it. I'm not sure, say, and at the time, na wuntumi nama okoba se nsuo ne nsase no, we didn't see the minority, the then majority, or anybody on his right senses. All cultural brand say ade a wo ye wo se nsuo ne nsase enti ebeya hasting slowly. Because Anam says Sikano Ba, a common woman, nobody cautioned that gentleman. And my catcher will be only answer when you to me. He thought he was sitting on the moon, just doing things in a manner, Sabi. So at that point, they lost key on caution. They couldn't caution the gentleman. Say, "Adena now are dangerous." And again, political influence. You Kruma, I can be the man name say. Because you see a maun to make contract. The question is track record ban or when it comes to say because we have contractors over the years, they are known for some of these things. But I'm saying no political connection. Captain Smart is tell a contract. Every excavator crowd to be that. But what you do is a wage contract. And I feel I will show be a what that expecting us. You can what slash it too. Now what they have and I'm so find your coin. Then the hooping some not about her. And over the years, that is what we've been doing. So the gentleman na kwaje land say or kwaje kwan so oba ye. The question is that did he do it or yeah. Evidence was here. These are some of the things I was expecting the MPP to put out the fact out there. Say, and some na ye can to abranti and so no. And kwan we no kwaje why evidence in here. When you speak to people in that particular manner, then people will know that the government is witch hunting the gentleman indeed. But the reality is that and some na ye can the criminal activities now why you are not even talking about it, you are not even interested, and you think we are still in 1990, we are still in 2000 where you can just say MPP and this and I'm 40 years that emotional campaign, emotional politics, those things will not fly. It's the reason why the right thinking Ghanaian in society couldn't fall for some of the shenanigans in those kind of emotional campaign that was activated by the MPP. Now you're quite form now and I said these guys are not serious. They are still joking in opposition because you see, Captain, when you lose political power, you lose connection with the people. That's so right. As a right-thinking individual, as a who leads such an institutional political party, what you do is you try to reconnect with the people by making sure, you become a voice, a representative. Because whenever a government is in power, it's a different thing. But opposition, you always try to bring the people to your side by making sure that you lead the conversation, direct the conversation. Say by I didn't have goodwill ever fall into your side. But never no more, you go to social media, it's as if still your opposition. MPP still in power because every single Ghanaian on social media and as a forum, if you listen to some of the comment even concerns among for Kenya, they are just trying to paint the MPP as if they are still in power because doesn't make sense. As a opposition party, you need to just restructure things and see how about approach it. But they still have this arrogant caliber of people still leading the chart of the party, and they think that they need to go ballistic. But then politics, the narrative, Ghana for are interested in the substance of the issues at hand. It is a to me issue now. Okay, bring the key fact. Eguho na can say na cause. It's the same emotional campaign of Muweji in the case of the Chief Justice when they were saying that Pamu Chief Justice Amanako. When indeed fact on the matter, the evidence available, and the processes has been activated thus far. No, there is no infringement, there is no contradiction, there hasn't been any error that has occasioned anywhere. It is a whole cancer seminar based on what? Ma mena tena se o se seminar on tia se o de court. So Onua kwaje na unanimous no bi. Unanimous na no package o mo chicha ma amanfo no. Onua ya ma na package ni bi o de kofie. So that is how it is. Esa yehu se and then won't be metana Ghana for agro. People are interested in the real case, the evidence, and as a for because of social media, Obi are not interested in politics, right? And then they are getting used to people are hooking on. Man for be so much interested in issues of politics. And don't think you can wage that emotional campaign. I don't know make catch say Abra omo general secretary no cultural say patriot you enko adenta kumifie no. What a comment you be say odwan when you were chopping your ladies, did you remember us? These are things say Ghana for need da ho. They are not your ladies, did you remember us? These are Ghana for the only way and then they say things, making sure say goodwill is on your side. When you have that thing, people will follow you. But when to make case, it wasn't as if say he wasn't granted bail. The gentleman was granted bail. All that they needed to do, he said somebody will pop up and say, "My provided the sureties and but we now promises Canada Japan now." Party more your friend say asimfo su Elon Musk dey senka nema we Kenya no problem or to the bottom he could have paid, but Captain, the reality is that they were just finding and dancing around the whole thing. It took the gentleman 4 solid days in your friends Yoko custody and now pay who let me say kwabrania ye week why ha and the church say political power so wunya so who say would the nyansa na to ho power is fleeting. Political power, time, is very uncertain. And we need to me a fire nyansa there and treat people good and make sure that there is an expiry date. Our office be our say. Don't ever think say to me and it will never exit. But unfortunately, because most of the people who get into political prominence in this country, majority are not intelligent. When they get there, they think that they are sitting on the moon. The expiry date will not come. But you see, power is fleeting. It doesn't matter how long you stay there. The expiry date will come. But either so you survive or not will depend on and near my brabo baye. Won't to meet radio sana oh you go ne diamond and as for the good TV swana among for about genius no. Ano na mana okasake akakabensam no. He never thought that time will come and he will be held accountable. So it's a message and it's a lesson to everybody in government today. As a when you to me, now what you say 7 class 7 is a moon now, but your friend or back our girlfriend, I will know that now but talk us and as a far more. You should know, say, a time will come. The only difference between you and Woon to me is time. And that time will definitely come. A bar won't because you see, the era where people go on TV. The only difference between Woon to me is time. Time. Okay. And that time is coming. Time, no, so you can't stop it. I will be in a born and you can't stop time. Time is always running. Time is gone. Exactly. But to be safe, it depends on what you do during this time and to make sure say you serve people with dignity. Yamma power no faso amraso. Maybe say me say Kobiche e dey abrante bi aba one of the radio station TV3. Captain, do you know what happened to me? Say June 3rd disaster be here no. And a boy was a victim. I think that he has undergone a lot of surgeries and as for. We live in a country where there will be a disaster and a passerby will suffer such a devastation, a bit difficult to the extent that we're describing it. The gentleman has been left to his fate. And on nam kwan ho no stress resika. And a kobicheko who now or try just to solicit some way be or the man. So why would you be no? I think that you can contact him, no help be a. The gentleman is in one of your studios. Boy now over the so politics now your question is how do we impact on people? Because I never disaster na see and am for lusu omoyere. Obi lusu ne ma, obi lusu na busi, obi lusu ne nine, obi enima say, but state has never okwa abroad. Who here adwuma campaign be na say okonya accident ya. So wutie ya and I say accident in a very way so won't be nya adwuma captain, you will be paid till you die. But in our part of the world, disaster na onim ho hwie o. Eye we na si and a wire victim. But nobody will go to his aid. A trust of power and politics na ya nyase ya de bebo ni power. Amanfo nya tumi na fe na ye de be ya kakabensem na sansem hunu no is the reason why you see people like Woon Tumi na say for all of them rushing into the political space because and them catch say politics and governance in our part of Africa no and give you prominence to intelligence wisdom na say for BM any fool at all can become a leader at any point in time because osikana na say for them and it's consistently we've been driving ourselves into a hellhole. How do we get out? It is contingent on menewo. How as people never rise out of emotional politics. Never making sure that governance is about us. It is not about some kind of fidelity via war and emotional attachment via war to individual and not any political party. Because young crow for no Chrome has a nipo munya to me no, they don't respect people. Or munipa or net to me a fellow dibedin se munu and do what you want to ton when you mana or the when form. Let us sit back and make sure say the wielders of political power no will be held accountable. Now you making sure says how to me no you be yamanipa anya impact also. Now obi ko di nsem huna enya wo na wokoba aboso na wakodi okogina dwam nsem na mekoko ama no. Say when the gentleman was in power no, what is Woon Tumi be in the door say MPP for mra party da. But enne ya chena or fro say wo hiani no bra yoko na be dealers na wokwana yakobo wani a nkwase ani na yabo. Sa enne it's a lesson to every young man out there. Politics, let us sit and make sure, say, we direct people to do the right thing. Obedience emuna. Don't be fooled by na your party no. Make sure say issue na ye kan wasem no. You really understand it. Can for that baba no so otena krom ha bon kwase abosia nyina odwa na kwatera burucha no to so ope zoom no ope. Twitter no mo de bema no ohun hwe.
Anyway, Lucius.
Captain. Captain Darcy, before my court mentions, na Madam Fuduwa Wenchi, a friend of Sabatu, or Chess of over the weekends, let's call my information bina as I went to me and found out of course. And you know, we are the number Ebema. It's about 1 man the Mabo. Now, Captain, won't to me case in Wahoo. Minim na NPP for be persebe the case yan kasa eye because the yoko for eye no ebi asipen enye wuntumi nko aso de tie se yoko for ekọ se be ekọ kire no ba nkọ se be ekọ gina honom se be ekọ be ekọ tutu atu se ne na ono paint picture na ma na ye no obia ni one ekọ ya okita se kan na say obi koye gidigidi wo honom but the arrest warrant ne ko say be kwa akoche no na de meka kra say de di kan a ba chewo ye wo mra e wo krom ha sei emra a ehye offense institution no nsa no e che say be wa kwanya say ana say that authority na be betimi ade be betimi a chewo enti de di kan no ba chewo de to so mienu e say any who can say be detained for more than 48 hours. And intino, edru sabre no, bama de bama bill. Intino nyebe say, obi mum eba beden, ebe babe belu. Enti say, MPP for kwa beko honum no. Who la who lawyers, parliamentarians wum, and him before a wum. Who nim bail condition na ewo honum. Then pantia benyina bekobo dompem ewo honom wa breko a banti an hwe kwan abefa so be meet the bail condition na me na anu nyina na me hwe ne na MPP for eya na me hu say be su be ho say obi ayi asne ye obi ayi enti me na be ni nyina no na ba na be su be ho say akwa ti say wa bo awura maternity ward. There is no virgin in the maternity ward. And Tiba na be ohonu nyina no akronfo fa. Be ya nkrofo a allegations e de dabeso say either say obi aye bibia daachi bia ono nso hwe kwan say ne be de ye wuntumi no ono nso obeden obekomu bi. Because say wotie wuntumi lawyer na no Friday what you say na man no de maturity e ye adwuma. Na our friend saying be ayi director of legal na minim ne no person kire wa breko a wo ankasa wo ya mranim ni a wo che se wo ye lawyer na wa hu say ya ma obi bill say ya ma no 50 million sa 50 million na ya dia ma no wontumi dia no kra dia kra esau because biniti say ne Ivan e kan yi about Wyoming die about wo sign ball obi foforo de hwe even atuation share men's gold in nipa kura friend is simple men's gold so no kra dey 500 million number one dey am 500 million now they compare 500 million to that of 50 million now be na honum na say o ba be ye dede a na no kwasem ye say damage a wuntumi akose no. Sa 50 million na bedman no crampo no. Mimi hunu kra say isa. Esakra and you see want to meet Chrome high say. And Panifo can say be say it takes a whole village to raise a child. And she want to meet a Chrome ha. And sama oke ka manfo edibani ehwe. Obi antimi anya chese MPP for antimi anya nyansasem bi anka nche se madamfo ade a wuye awie akire no ne ebeto no enye papa or the emotions chese ofiti preko pese or kasa na wa yina adwena si nchen na wa ahye say ensem hunu mfrani masem ensema emfata ensema pani enka hwe wuntumi nsema okeka ye no okuru asi won ebi wo okra captain wuntumi repeat ensema wuntumi keka ye ebi wo ha wuntumi enye den repeat na nokwasem ye se hwe emra de mra o emra wo ho se ye start say de mra ya aduma ebetim de mra ya aduma but when you find displacement of anger so because of the mra anywhere dear wahu obesan to me de offense abufu awuram won't me at that type won't me you be a chair beche no Ghana for do na ape Ghana for do na ape say yachi won't me because nsema wake kan okrom ha any damage wa cause no any damage ketua na wonti krom ha say wahu say obi akwaje besia 10 million say me de kwa akodua abu nipa kroya asna akwaje ayi road contract cocoa road contract say oba abeye yehu kwan a waye the same person abawura forest cause a lot of damage ewo honom na ya chi na de obetimi aye say obekwa akotena farm na waye didi he da bia me kan say we won nursing pregnancy is not difficult too. Nursing pregnancy is not difficult. So wonyem na anyinsen mu emu abofro ne mu ntasu toto aha enya den isa raising up a fool so wo titi jimfo din se boso nkuru anyinsen no because me abede ye wontu nu on MPP for the year no fan fooling say MPP rally you can imagine sika anka bebe hia any the I mean can saying crowd ebe ho but eba ni say no say benya amanfo no abekoi benya amanfo ebi musu ti krom ha ya ma men kan asem wi danfo bi ko gina honom bele say oloye frafra ni o say oye den hwe ebi mu aye be ho say but the whole northern region no ahu ebe twitwi gatam ma men kan sa asem wi Sali pana okojina ha oka se wa organize bokofo wa organize hefafo eni ntino se ba ne se kan dia forget no
forget
frafra hene tie mi afra no twena so se frafra hene tie mi
wa be pa che o
ene na che opa ni nyina no ban twena so se ote akra ha babia yewo bia yewo dagate hene yewo mo hene yewo mosi hene yewo hwano ane frafra hene wo ho onfra no na so twe a efata no onfa ma no hwe MPP ba ye northern region ho no kohwe the whole northern region no enye ayi baumia no kwotena ofrensay radio so kwake say the biggest project about no northern region eye dam na be ye no ho no meanwhile 11 million afa on sato yahu dam yahu hwe wo ho northern region da no ho ye no ho no free upper west upper east northern then course wo ho ne obi mu maba be ni chairman na out of his chairmanship no onu atimi awe ni contracts ahodo atimi aden akogigi sika enu kwanse ogiba bia esen ka di sika ko ekoma ahiafo kwa damfu ya gigi agunu botom wa metwa ba school fees wa nya hwe amount ede ba achi na wa ba be gina ho ka say wa organize bokofo ne hefafo say wo de ba be yi wuntumi na wuntumi ti krom sky oje no no ma bi wo hwe nipa no kra ne ho ne dress ya na odigina ho no ma wo ti se be 2 series coin bi ni dan botuma enwan no enso ogina say o ba be yi wuntumi what you said no I no harm kwa no nti ase
2 cities
I said 2 cities coin bi dan bottom aye wan no
and also the baby you
oba be you want to be Captain I say mo
I don't say 50 million
yeah 50 Hey no wa who say captain
oh my word
where dey wa ma menya tribalism kakra who say me dagati ni last me catch you me the gatini enti mpempi no sometimes so na say last me catch you say me the gatini now media
what you kasa no
metepa metesin kasa bia
ka fadagati kasa na me so tia
me fanka mbo yeko very yela na fe wa ma me kadagati kra
ka me se kadagati no me ko kadagati no me ko mami
me free nandom enti ma menchi nandom impole ni neza poli nandom na ano nkaka okay so inyi nandom buo na yi inye ke mbo empoli anandom biliza poli nandom na ame embo yeko afrafaldim abe ya bayin te master ne be ne boli apoble na chenti alabe a yala ala na ya ne fa iwa anifa iwa apoble ne chenti alabe a ese ne bolo ebo ne na se ne de ino wa ne de ino ala na ya awuntu na chenti da ulibi ne o contract una da sa contract na obekọ home ne ona beko ho ngla bunso hu chenti alabe ayeka ho deni niwe yini boko deni niwe yini bolga se ho I wuntu bunso ha se ho yale a wuntu na da libi ko ho na be oko na amina wuntu de ko pampa na ho na china yiwa ho na chen hu bia wa te school fees san wuntu na ya be ana na ya baumia dana de libi wa ko ho
wow
baumia dana de libi wa ko ho be the MPP ni buolu delibi wako ho so captain makanwi matubefo ma niya sabadi yan
sabu na mina unu ina be kramai
frafrafo ani we kramai frafrafo ani unim no I just don't want to go hard on them when say yeah be masters what you say nti ya frebe se be yankoa eni nti no ehaye kwan ho enti
me nim da sa waka pesa o
ma catch on several occasions the first time I catch on cry Adum FM
sure wow
na me won say me din cry down say the gati din me ma na ntafudi ni da be so me kura me ntu abofudi me nko anu abofudi
sir what delicious there
sanfa
wow
me di chuvie sanfa lucius be chuvie na say ba yefun chuvie no so ntafudi
okay Timinu mi ne ntafo simple wow
ade a shock you e ma no shock you say obi anim
okay
obi anim
say untumi ye okuru ni
untumi ate sebelo e frafra ni so e frafra ni dia na che so e makoa
untumi benya ho e kasa
enti captain de danfunu ko gina ho a oyeye no eye mfre ni masem no oyeye no wanye ni yi wanya futu because wuntumi sika waji no kurom ha no wo omma bi wuntumi contracts a oje no wan fro se beye bi wuntumi call maslok ema maslok for tour of friend saying land cruisers edema no wo wa ma bi na adenti a ubegina ho no se den ye de ama wo se den ye na wa ba begina ho ebe keka nsem a enu kwanse oka wahu captain hwe okọ north ho no ma development bi anhye dan ko sa wo wati ase enti mpempi no eya ne me meka ye se o fight ade na ye di mpuntuo ebe baba bi a wo ye den owo na mpuntuo no ba wo obe den obe enjoy bi na nya individual na ono no waye boni a ye pe no achi no na office wuntumi ko a ene me ka cho say there is no virgin in the maternity ward sankrofo na beko ho no nyina no be nyina no be case da ho a your friend saying bebe chibe nkrofo beko ho no nyina wo de afa be nyina meti say nipa o ma o guarantee wuntumi $10 million no ono so ko ho bi nipa na ono wo your friend saying Exim Bank no guarantee no $10 million no time na beko ya beko tena fam no no on so to hobi etu Onua no he is consciously aware say won't me the car won't me NPI yet ya catch us say massive apako na wo no this kind man na want me anje during your time no beko announce wakobi nipa bɔne fo same way I say wunim wo hwe I say wunim ne ekɔ wahu
wunim ne ekɔ
wunim ne ekɔ enkura wo krom ha say books ankura besua akura na be nya bi emfa nsua de e wo ho time who introduce new curriculum wa abreko ana textbook ba akokora ho ntimi introduce na say sika wo ho no ma no say wo ho nsa ebubo sika mu rough how I didn't say ho yesa enti na ya me no wo kasa anu on agran craft ni e ba be start na wo kasa yi aba yi no ayi no be yi no wo ho minim so akoda ho no ba bubu ni nkotodwemu na wo ntimi ngira ne nan so na MPP for no on bibi habe nipa wo hwe nanim a utimi hu say ono ankasa no or medical condition no na ne ka ho ba kwa fum ne ka ho kra onya ahome kra no wa home the same person na ho twitwa age no the same person be yi no once na kwa fum ka no ho like nipa kobe ne wo ho obi a oyare enti wontumi de me mra no se beti ma mra no den adwuma MPP for na me kai say before the inaugural ceremony no me kai me tuba for say se be ko inauguration na nkaba be mfa bus na be nko nsawom na be ko na be nko chibe hungum because after inauguration no ye edition go ye ba be reset Ghana reset no what 10 pesos kra fa on satum ye beje say 10 pesos kra fa on satwa president mama aka say 10 pesos kra fa on satwa ye beje entie ndey no ema obi enya na dwen say wa firi aban mu na mini be firi aban mu no so say be nyina badan ayare fo osedenwu wochi obi a obeyare obi a ne obechi ni bi obeyare hwe cases a aba MPP cases aba ni nyina ba ya chi be ni nyina no obi a yare fam akunfia mi odie ayi afransai wontumi ayi ba akun so ne onso wakoka suoje ya say onu no pezum ayi ayi danfia no bo besia bebrebe ayi ofuriata enti obi a ne ebe chimi bia na de olo yare obi a ebe chimi bia oyare na se onim se oyare ahwe da bia metu amanfofo me kasa asen we say se uye nipa wahu ye de ye anya hwe kura no obeye bone ba ko mienu bi afam that is fine but se wotena asia ye aniamo ho nsem ese niema ebeduru ba bi no wahu oho beye mobo ne MPP for eye ni nyina no onse ne be ho aye mobo ene be ho aye mobo sofu bi a oti Kumasi before the election okọ obunu region okọ gada asofo ye national cathedral na ne ho bon mu ayi ya fense kusi buatie okọ obunu region no okọ gada asofo no ono emo mpese influence be se bento aba ma MPP o wie no che sika o free ho no okọ obunu east no san kwa gada asofo ho no san che sika ma be no influence be se bento aba ma MPP no okọ obunu region sa o free no okọ Kumasi dia na oye no enti na be nim say boni abadim be betim di sika e retain power na Ghana for ye njimi sa uye ni nyina odi nkwasem ni nyina wi a bi ha ye ni ehwe in the end no be kofi ebi ni say ne ho akofi no be fie na akọ no hu dodo na abedam captain me MPP for dodo na bebedam ba nkasa be yawe wuntumi ho na abekọ e na ne be ye no na ba na be esu be ho it's not like say wuntumi nti a na ba be esu be daachi because they say daachi bia no bebedam.
All right. The producer sent him a letter. Was written on the 14th of May 2025 about Kenoforiata, our Mayo Clinic, our US. Sir Oyare. The Yare no, you're diagnosed with prostate cancer. A surgical intervention has been deemed necessary after the testing and MRI and biopsy procedures in March 2025. As indicated in my February letter, just a letter of Troy, this surgical procedure has been scheduled for June 13th with Dr. Paras SHA of the Department of Urology. And for that matter, no. One person watching Tintin and says, "We na Uncle Ken June 13th ton on Baye sa procedure no. Na ye no surgery no June 13th for the NHS here time or the better apple. Obi a surgery there innocent na what's our field no dey to be actually.
Captain, I think some bufu Okroma but Obending. So when Yarea we sympathize with him because Yarea there Obia predisposed to and Obi Yarea at any point in time all that you can say is you wish that particular person well in the oil. But you see the reality of this whole issue is nobody is disputing the fact that can operate Yarea. Because Abraham Noye finance minister called when you born a nima, I catch our platforms. When you born a new sweat, me say, or yaren or nam. At the time, I even know a finance minister. So at the time, I now taking those decisions as to whether or not he was on the right frame of mind. And I say because some of the decisions now no taking, sometimes you wonder whether the guy was even thinking right or not. So yaren there, no, or yaren that I need no by yaren. So that one we understand. But you see, facing prosecution, you know, we are talking about a person, you know, either say. So because nobody and I can say arrested can operator. You say why Niama Bako and Nami no. So can operator is not to be a bedridden or be a damn password ultimately and answer all immobilized like or the how and I want lose the sanity. I will be sent as a moon to me no. And it's not as if that he cannot travel. Because Ghana for more you can last week Omuhunu London. And I think that the video and the pictures what will be. So on your be own to mean to coin. So the impression they are trying to create is oyare and the obianim that onyam koye oyare for that one we understand. But the fact is every single criminal activity via a course under Kufuor government via no Kenofurata is involved. Every single criminal business via so he's the masterpiece of this whole corruption puzzle I try to unlock as a country. So are a person of interest. And he said, this whole thing started, like I said, the office of the special prosecutor, we need to decommission that particular office. And since the day almost started, I've seen them catch a waste of resources. For me, see a person fighting corruption. We have state institutions that say a resource more like the AG, Yoko, as a former. We can easily deal with this. This Kisiaja been press conferences of emotional sometimes so you don't even know what he's doing. For me, the office of the special prosecutor must be decommissioned. Now you focus on some of these things. You see, the approach now I adopt, and no one ever can for the because in the first place, gentleman ya accusing no or set a time. I'm not being a ya just to man. In the course of say ya by surgery now, say ya diagnosing no captain. It didn't happen at the expiry date of 2nd June or the Mayano. But Otanasia ma. Your friend say, "Emerana would your man aswa we aka 3 days, you know, and order letter, bro." Say your friend is saying, and they are scheduled no for another surgery. And all this thing I cost no, sir diagnosis nearby, no, he could have communicated to the office of the special prosecutor. Now you will say, "Oh, every change arrangement and I change," and they say in the and he's gotten to a point that he's telling us, "Officer, yeah, Zoom meeting," and I'm telling you, say, Metana Hakacho said the gentleman is not willing to come because only Oba de Besi, because Oba said special prosecutor for anywhere, Yoko for Bafano, Yoko for Fana, national security for Bafano, national security we are, and I be Bafano. Because every single criminal activity be open to Obenya Kwanya Kono, Nanya the Keto, and wound to me, I always at Tiwaka crowd much wound to me, no, who said, Mekwa Masubayase, and it's the reason why he's playing all this game. Because Yare or Yare, but the fact is that Onya immobilizer own to me move around. And for me, that is the sad aspect of this whole thing. And these are the people, young people in this country. It's me sort of boss was he defending these people. Now, when people for some what you want to me, no, or mom for crime, papa, so maybe say, and the national security for Unkoto, Kente, your friends say, among Koto, Kete. Into Omoko Fana, your boy, because and then I will say, you respect to answer your chill. Because you say, yes, I'll be because arrest warrant was issued. So, what again do you need? say yam fa kwan papa so na ya arrest no enti ye bebo wuntumi ama na yanko han ketani mpintini ne yansam fa nko ne fie na onhu say yes national security for ba fa na asesen. You see, these are people of minor men ye gina ba ye gina and then they are bold enough to tell us say ono nye ready say obebo mine because onti apona say Ghana for ye ready a ye ne nye zoom way zoom na man for free say ye tra keke captain say Ghana aban pese onne kenforata ye zoom a we need to notify the US authorities. You cannot do it because this is a criminal proceedings. And the answer now by yes no, that letters regulatory must be written to the AG's department in America to seek authorization. Now, amunso who say a case na air cost no a political witch hunting na mum a clear case of corruption asa and sana when you want Kenya and na ye that particular conference call no enti enye easy sa kekese o kan ya na ye the camera question ni because issue no in the future no might proceed to court. One in the corner catch and say and some no kan no he was under duress and for that particular evidence now what gathered from him no cannot stand the test of your friend saying prove evidential value now pay at court no end to me yet. So this whole process now all come and for who samples as be Zoom no it's not just Zoom. We have to officially write to the AG's department in America just to notify them say because a criminal proceedings a civil are fine because there are people who we can easily engage on Zoom because and now say a criminal proceedings now our consequences in the future about involve evacuation and as a we need to do all these things and he knows. So it's just a matter of just dragging the process and he also knows very well said that your friend saying mutual legal treaties are America and other countries or Ghana you know but your cooperation and for you to evacuate kind of red at Nebaba Kruma said no and yeah the ketchup was a man for say Interpol red alert as well. You think it's easy? It's not easy when the gentleman is not ready to come because he is playing I am sick card on humanitarian grounds. Obia or say oyare only ready to move no Interpol no FBI can force him out of the jurisdiction. To do that it will have to be decided by a court in the United States of America by providing all the documents na court ahwema who say and some now can based on the documents I examine and as a forum and the moment to say young no if he's not willing to come and easy and that should tell you say adwobone eno mode ye nnuma okroma sei wa gugu amanfo bank say businesses abon kwase abosia ama se be o man no dey kam ene krono akese ya akoso akenofurata involve no ene he is bold enough to look us in the face say Ghana for I am not willing to answer to you because they me manya wie and maybe away he can decide never to come to this country because they've been able to move monies outside this country so maybe obia no or he's okay, you understand? That tells you the kind of politics that we do in this country. And Abraham, no near TV, so another beer we are talking about Kenofurata no. Not yes a time and no be time no. And as a beer, I bind and no be time no. Omusubaya they have no respect for the people of this country. Only Bonia wedding to know. All Metzen Hakra will be son as them. And now when you could do it was a Zoom no pe. Na chrono no and Quasiabosia now bono Zoom. Cathedral now time Sika Mobidi to and Zoom no ye or Sika Koye. You see, these are people who are not credible. They are very dishonest characters. And Akufo-Addo and Bakwakofa and Kufuor because Captain the minimum say a casa why I don't win your bonnet. All that you have to do is say, oh, I'm available on this date, may bad more babeka. Simple as that. And people know so why I don't know. Every year they want to me fire me, when you demonstrate to say indeed. And you are willing to cooperate. Oh, and the surgery come answer me as to whether the surgery will be done, either there will be complications or not, you don't know. Time of recovery in as a forum, and as a surgery in your bum crowd and some say because you can't set a busy cano, you cannot evacuate or extradite him by force over the neighbor until say or no you're willing to come. And from the Kenofurata ye, maybe our videos to catch us say, and yeah, there's a branch in Babakruma say. He's not willing to come. And then we are here. Mark it somewhere. We may sit here next year, sitting here and be talking about Kenofurata not being in Ghana. Because on your ready so baba. Because on him the fate that awaits him. And on him say he can never buy himself out of the cases now air cost. So the only way out, and I said, we play the kind of games now. For me, I think that we can proceed. Captain, the last time I catch you, the Nuremberg trial, Abrana. Even those who died were tried in absentia. Because the principles of natural justice indicate that the accused must be heard. this is a guy who is waving all these opportunities in us for them. So I think if it is possible to take a statement from him, we should proceed and go to court, and if possible, convict him. Conviction is not only about within the jail. The mere fact that the person has been convicted is enough, because whenever he steps into this country, he becomes a subject of a prison inmate. Now say, oh man, so that's what you bad. You bet me see prison get 12 years here, and I think Ghanaians will be satisfied because Bonia Kenoforiata Edi under Akufo-Addo no, he cannot go scot free, and every single criminal case be a Kosubiano or Kahubi. And the very people in the MPP are now more adjacent Kenoforiata or Kenoforiata no, and then let that honor. Omra Mayina no can ato idea Sabi just a force no Manaba Kruma, and for me. Case must be transferred from the office of the special prosecutor. Now say you could be dealing. Maybe they should find a way out. Maybe cooperating with the American authorities if there is a way be a omit me and faster than a bar. Now no make us will say the best way between the bar and say among kidnap no financial sack him no because if he decide to play I am sick card na captain on humanitarian grounds, it's very difficult to deal with it. Not special prosecutor. And transfer a case in my Yoko. Now, anyway, but for me, I think that this whole thing is impossible. Dragging Kenoforiata to come to this country when he's not willing to come, it's not possible. See, the number based on cars and I say play. I am sick. It's sort of kind of ordeal. And going forward, say the to me money power. It's not just about the NDC MPP. We need to look for minds, are accountable, they are very honest and ready to serve this country with dignity. The allegiance should be to the people of this country, to the constitution and to the flag of this country. Not people who are working at the behest of certain porn masters. Everything that they do is to satisfy the parochial interest of themselves and these masters, because even he was not even serving the interest of the MPP as a political party. It is the reason why at some point in time his own people were calling for his head. Now at some point in time then when I'll be a chief defender captain now research. Do you know say Sika echo wound to me as an individual as such as Sika echo Ashanti region in terms of development, because I'm trying to find out if there is a single development in Ashanti region under 8 years Akufo-Addo it cost anywhere around $50 million. If there is a single project in a whole of the Ashanti region, the value through $50 million, wouldn't to me a pocketed more than that. So it's just one person now you're richer than the entire Ashanti region. I at the base of the party. Now what's in a bar seems that me baba say you side the pan when indeed, even though you're one for, but the evidence are quite clear. You understand? So I think the Ghana for my ninte. Now you move beyond this emotional partisan activism over the years in the NDC, because people do all this silly nasty stuff because of Omunim said to the idea. Among for better TV soon radio so defended because you know one political party. You fire again but if we begin to approach issues dispassionately, devoid of emotions, devoid of partisan allegiances and affiliations, that kind of connections. Now we are looking at issues from a very nationalistic point of view. Say Ghana for if we're able to strike the balance between red and black, now we say this is evil, this is good. These people, their motivation to do some of the things that they do, Captain, it will not be there. But as long as we sit on TV and fight over issues, we try to bury the truth and hide behind partisan cars. These people will continue to have energy to do some of these things, because in a country, serious, these people, everybody across the political divide would expect Kenoforiata will come to this country for us to face justice. But the question is, why is he not willing to come? And Neamana, he's even ridiculing the people of this country, and his people are here just playing the same card as if say Sabi. They are trying to take things away from, but me say John Mahama be the president 4 years. After 4 years, he will be no more president. Another person will come. Ghana is the constant figure in this whole narrative. You understand? So allegiance should be to this republic. But people come in the name of political party and they take silly decisions at the end of the day to endanger the prospect of this country. Look at things that Kenoforiata did. For instance, Cathedral na ye kan ho asemi. Akufo-Addo did in sako bomb mine si come for $50 million. Or also for 15 million Ghana cedis. And yes, contract who was a binansa nim. Na nipa hospitals no na sefo there is no single hospital betimi do mo say ye shall see hospital ye wie agenda 111 me hu so no share dan me have worked at the hospital captain ye can hospital nye dan esi ho dan no is just 40% of it stocking it that is the hospital na dan your hospital a dan is not hospital stocking it with state of the art equipment and a money hospital and this sika na ye waste ye over the years yentimi ansi hospital ha and I can operate to me Ghana for him so or not as a finance minister for 8 good years the care ne surgery na open there is no hospital in Ghana betimi dia ma no enti ono or come Mayo Clinic which is one of the biggest hospital in America when yesika to the stand say obetimi akọ na wa wo tikejeti a woton mamone na woton ko obi no wo yare a can you even come to Kolebu can you see hospital esiafari 80 years they allowed the hospital to destroy and dissipate to a point and equipment e ko mu nyina say Onua timi twa plane ticket e ko wei akọ he ne ho yare me kira say wo no as an individual no so wo yare and then ochina can you do the same thing that captain that is the question that we should be asking ourselves can you go to even Accra as a Kusi kike but your Jai hospital na manasi ho nobody is even talking about it and for me that is the shame say Ghana for ultimate say na you move beyond this emotional politics na you make sure say the adwin adwuma me hu say politics me party that is good but the constant factor in this whole equation is Ghana and everything that we do must be in the interest of these people. I'm sure say people who come to serve will serve us in dignity. They will know say they are serving the people. It is not just about me nyansana makosku wa brochire ne na se for them and for that reason and look at a lot of the fake certificate for that are coming into the system. I think that even government say you vete nipa obufra bontina with the certificate about Kuroma. Captain, I'm telling you about 60% are fake. I'm telling you this from a very reliable source. Ghana for them akosuya dia brochiro na me doctor na me we said about 60% of the certificate they present in this country are fake. I'm asking government to set up a desk. I verify every single certificate coming from outside. And we need to be very sincere. Now you're making sure say we are serving this country with dignity. Because say my boy party, no of an president. Can for time pass idea say because even in his own party he was scared. MPP for Nankasa no Muslim don't even canasem. They take all the decisions and Amraba be you are no be investigating some or can't you say you zoom man. And that is here we are today, and we are not making any progress. This conversation will be coming up and there will be no progress. So for me, I think government aggression on corruption, we need to activate it and make sure every single means be a processes, and even if it will not be possible, let us start it. The extradition, whatever we need to do just for Ghana for to know, say we try our best. But the gentleman is not willing to come. But the special prosecutor, the honor say emotional press conference, so soon so serious or we are sick and tired because officers are not there. Press conference say binyansa bi so match akoko so match abebe sana akwakosi Ghana for are really serious and I'm asking them say prosecuting these people a sacred responsibility Ghana for na no na me catch up my dollar medru 1 cedi. If he does not hold these people accountable, Ghanaians will never forgive him. Because in the last 8 years, we saw the atrocities, the disrespect, the vulgar impunity with which these people operated. Ghana for Kenyans, they did all that they could because they had that particular power. We need to send a message, say, we need to me. There are breaks. Even in America, a president, they are very powerful. There are certain things you cannot do. Trump attempted to extradite certain individual courts was stopping and a whole lot of way. And that break and the democracy. But Africa now yet it looks as if we have power bit my BBR. That is why you are consistently losing trust in democracy. What was that countries which are going cool? Now yet almost Cote d'Ivoire president so people are losing trust in democracy. We need to make sure that we build confidence once again, and some of these things so the young people will continue to make noise. There are people on the radar in the coming days. They'll be coming up. I think that it's not just be say Yednako Yoko say your friend Chamawun to be Saturday to Oko court. That is your friend say is it on the 9th of this month to say way. I think that is what you should be. It's not like say Achinipa na kona eno na si yente hwebiem. Ghanaians are following keenly because a time will come Ghanaians will begin to ask all these questions. Makata say koto abano. Many Ghanaians thought the NDC and MPP are the same thing. Oba, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. This is a time for John Mahama to make a striking difference and no, the NDC and the MPP are not the same. And for that matter, he's ready to deal with these people. And for me, that is what I'm for. It is not about any individual, it is about the greater good of this country. Now, you send a message loud, clear, say, Ghana, and you're here for prison. Now, mum, among for Motina offices, politically influential people now, when you are Kenya, several Mudidi, Sabi and Sebuno, they too can go to jail.
Right. Senior, I'm not 2 minutes for Kakasos on the encore.
Mate, maybe last, Mecano Hatche, GB said, Oshe, Ankane, the previous years, no MPP4, then your platform be a Nasa Betinaso, Nasa, on a bed air Casa. Betimi ka say NDC for a corrupt. Betimi ka say we NDC ni a kire MPP ni a NDC baso. Betimi che no etu. Na na be refi say Prof Mills baso no. Ono no yes o, on de oya asumdwe hene. Enti ye onyema bi wo ho a dede ne nasefo na wompe. Ene ne man krofo bi a na ba wiewia sika. E wo kurom ha si benya beti edidi mu. And no free on the President Mama so by. On no so by no yourself, I say father for all, father for all. That father for all attitude no. And so man crophobia na senka or chibe no want me anya den anchibe. Entino be fasade no say, oh, bear no mum, ne banya den bancha da anya de bon. And sometimes there was a perception we say, oh, but your chrono de benim chrono bo betim de pen bo chrono a untim den untim enchibe. And then ababe clear. So now team depend bokrono abra yintimu nchew. Ana untimu fa pen embokrono no. Aban assessor. Say we OSP ayi issue ya enra oye ho press conference yi. Me no sane Ivan ka me hu ni say anhwa ebekwa akoye ti say the old narrative na ye be press conference no. Ye be discuss various platforms so. Na asem no ayden akwakoda because this is somebody what wants afre no say omra no aka che o say oyare into ntumba somewhere January no honum in February no mu o kire say oh o yade no o hwa obekọ akoye operation somewhere in March no mu nyina no wa meka hwe enti time bia no o te hwa o twen say OSP ebe to ne safro na wa use wo underlying medical condition e dey make excuse say wo kwa akoye surgery ana say onti apontimuntim yede untimu emba in any case say obi yare a kwan ne kire say nipa no oyare wo na nkasa na former finance minister no onye doctor OSP so onye doctor enti yem sa nipa mienu bia no entimu enkire the condition na uwum no enti say no kre se oyare na se bia yede wo hwe wo ho yade a eye doctor ene yede hwe adenti a o ma doctor no ema offense medical report na on analyze the issue no ema yehu say pe AOB and C no nti no bia obeba be operation eda sei na no crampo no obetimi a kire say because of that condition nti no utu kwan a enye yie what I say but when na chi no o meka he time bia no akwakwa to say o de Ghana for any OSP no adwen edi agro o twen say ye beba be den ye be frew ye frewa na wanya bibi ai den aka wo see this is somebody can offer to one ni timu edin say uhu ni sa no he de odi amanfo akomu okrom ha nne onu ni timu ai ni da o che ho a o ka say o hia zoom ayi no ah banks ya ogugu nu wo nipa ewuo mu no nipa ba wu o de emfansi ayempo yempo no the haircut buy amanfo collapse wo krom ha wu ya amanfo have tension everybody be wu you know this same person
Captain, so what declare one time, Babi Abesia, the Bia dead. Babi Agana, the Abesia, the Bia channel.
What to swan now?
Babi Abachini Bia,
what the number?
Channel 5 CDs.
I mean, I said, I say, Yanania home right, and 5 Chatono, and so, Yabasia.
You deserve that vacation. Yes, you do. Or perhaps you need to attend that business meeting. But what's your destination? Dubai?